So in the last class, we were discussing what are the interfaces, and we have discussed how your multiple inheritance can be achieved using interfaces, right? And we have also seen how your interface reference can be used to call the methods, right? So we said that in today's class, we need to discuss a topic called as nested interfaces, right? So before we proceed with this particular syntax of a nested interface and all, first let us think about what is the necessity of a nested interface. That means in which situation you want to go with the nested interfaces. That means why nested interface. Okay, when you have a requirement for a timing, you can imagine what might be a definition of a nested interface means interface, right? Nested interface is nothing but you are trying to put one interface in another interface, right? So example, you can put an interface in a class. That means within a class, what I mean to say is interface inside class. This can also be called as nested interface. That means you have written one interface inside some other class, right? So this is nested interface, or interface within another interface, right? Even this can be called as nested interface, right? So the question is why you want to go with this kind of a thing, which is the suitable situation wherein which you can go with the nested interfaces. Either it might be an interface in a class or an interface within an interface. What is the necessity of going for this particular nested interface, right? So why am I discussing this particular point is with respect to inner classes. What does inner classes means? Class within a class. We said that until and unless there is a existence of a inner object, there should not be existence of a outer class object, right? So in those scenarios, you have to go with the inner classes, right? So similarly, with respect to nested interfaces, what is the situation? Why you wanted to go with a nested interface? That we need to understand first. Then it will be easy for us to see the syntax, how exactly program works and all, right? So let me explain you a small scenario. See, when you have a certain requirement, right? So as I told you already in the last class, say for example, you have some marriage function is there in your home. So with respect to a marriage, you might be having so many methods need to be followed, right? So let me say something like interface marriage. This is one interface. So under this particular interface called a marriage, I might be having a different operations to be done, right? So first thing I'll be saying something like a shopping with respect to clothes, right? So this is one kind of a method, right? Now what I mean to say is, see, shopping is not just a method. What now I am saying is, shopping is not just a one method. Under that, you will be having a shopping for a bride, shopping for a bridegroom. You need to purchase some clothes for others also, right? So give away gifts, kind of stuff. Now what I mean to say is, now don't go with a method directly, rather you prefer another interface which is called as shopping. This is interface within a interface. Some question in the chat box? No. Right? So under this particular shopping, now I can specify you will be having a separate bride shopping method. You will be having a separate bridegroom shopping, right? Now what I have done within a one particular interface called marriage, I have created one more interface called as a shopping now, right? So will it be only one particular purpose? No, you will be having some more things, something like interface. I'll say now for a cooking, I need to book a someone, right? Okay, interface, right? So under this particular cooking, right? Here, what we have written in the last class, something like your South Indian dishes, right? So one particular method, and similarly your North Indian dishes, one particular method, right? So if you observe these things, what we have done is we have just split our methods in a suitable fashion. That means we have just grouped what are the methods belong to which particular category. All right. So now choosing a shopping for this bride and a bridegroom, I made it as a one particular shopping, and this with respect to this particular food, I have made a one interface called as a cooking. Right. So what I mean to explain you is, see, nested interface purpose is to group our requirements in a proper fashion, right? So the purpose of a nested interface is to group our requirements or our set of rules. Interface is nothing but a set of rules, right? So nested interface intention is to group our requirements in a proper fashion, right? Now if I want to implement this particular shopping interface, means I have to take a parent. This is a parent, right? I need to say marriage dot shopping. See, there should be a one class which implements all these things, right? So now if I want to give an implementation for this particular bride, I need to specify marriage dot shopping, then I need to go with a bride implementation. That we will see later. If you so means this example I have taken just to make you understand what is the purpose of going for a nested interface, right? So the purpose of going with a nested interface is I just wanted to aggregate my set of methods in a proper fashion, right? So just assume that I have not written these particular interfaces. I have just written these methods like a bride, bridegroom, south, north, everything in a marriage interface itself. Yes, I can understand all these methods need to be implemented, but if I categorize those things in a proper fashion, then it will be easy for me to understand which particular method belong to which particular interface, what is the purpose of that particular method. If you are clear with the purpose, then we will see an example how to go with a nested interface, putting an interface inside a class, one example, and putting an interface inside an interface, another example. Clear with the purpose? Right. So when we are clear with the purpose, let us start preparing one small example just to understand how we need to implement our inner interface and all. 1 second. Okay, so here I have just created one prototype for an example which I need to discuss. Right, so let us create one interface, the one nested interface. Okay, we know how to create an interface. Let's say I1 is a one interface. So inside a interface I1, I am creating one more interface which is called as X1, right? So inside of this particular X1 interface, I have a method called M1. Nested interfaces, right? Interface within an interface, right? In the inner interface, you have got a something called as a M1 method. Correct. Now, for implementing this particular interface, you need to have a one class. Class, just say some y implements I1. See, where is our method M1? It is inside, so means X1, and where is our X1 interface? It is inside I1. So when I want to implement this particular method, M1, I have to write I1.M1. I need to specify interface, right? Which interface I am implementing? I am implementing X1 interface which is there in I1, right? So what I'm doing is I am implementing interface X1 which is there in this particular I1, right? If we want to, if these numbers are confusing, say for example, uh, right, okay, so within this particular within a marriage, I have an interface called a shopping. So within a shopping, I have a method called a bride. I need to implement this particular bride method now. So class y implements marriage dot shopping, right? So under this, you have a method called a bride, right? So when we are implementing, we clearly said that you have to specify public. If you are not specifying, then it will show you error. Clear? Now, system dot out dot println clear interface. One more inner interface. Inside I had a method class y. This purpose of a class y is to implement this particular method. So wrote implements marriage dot shopping, right? So under a marriage dot shopping interface, I wanted to implement this particular bride method. So implemented that particular bride method. So from a main method, I can create object of a y, right? Now by using this particular object, I can call the method called a bride. Shall we check? Any questions in whatever I have wrote? Yes, we will check now. Let me copy this particular file name because there might be a typing mistake. No errors. Right. So bride shopping done. Clear with the things? Understood the syntax? One more thing I'll tell you. So we will be modifying this particular same example for understanding the different important conclusions with respect to nested interfaces. If you have any questions from this particular example, you need to ask now itself, because later we will be modifying this particular example in so many stages. That means for understanding a few conclusions. Shall we proceed? Okay, so basically clear with what is the nested interface concept. Now, I know that we have not discussed your public, private, all those stuff, but just for understanding a few conclusions, now with respect to inner interface, and we said that in an interface, all the methods whichever you are going to declare, all those methods will be by default public and abstract, right? Methods are a public and abstract. Now, with respect to interface, right? So there is a one important point which we need to remember: nested interfaces, right? So this particular inner interface should be public, should be public. If you are not writing a public, if you are not writing anything, if you are not writing anything also, it will be considered as a public itself, right? So this particular inner interface should be public only, right? Even though if you are not writing anything, by default it will be taking as a public itself, right? So just to prove that one, let me write some other modifier. You have a modifier something called as a protected. Don't worry if you don't know what exactly is protected. I'm just saying there is a one modifier called as a protected. Now if I am giving a protected for an inner interface, what error I will be getting? Let us just cross check. What it is saying, read the error properly. It is saying error, illegal combination of modifiers, public and protected. That means there is already public specified for that particular inner interface. Again, you are trying to give a one more access specifier called as a protected. So this is illegal combination. That means you cannot specify any other modifier. There will be always a public given for your inner interface. Clear with the point? Right? So what a conclusion I wanted to prove is, even though if you are not writing any access modifier for your inner interface, there will be public written. Right? If you are trying to write any other access specifiers, then it will throw you error saying that illegal combination of modifiers. Clear? Okay. Now, we have said that just writing an interface within an interface is a nested interface. Instead of having an interface within an interface, we can have a interface within a class also, right? Let us just change this particular example. Instead of taking a marriage as an interface, let me take it as a some class. Now, what all the changes I have to do? Now upper, so means now outer part, whichever was there in previously, which was the interface, now I made it as a class. Right? Do I need to change anything with respect to this particular class Y implements kind of stuff? Anything? Extends in class Y. This is what we need to observe a bit. See, our intention is to implement. Let me remove this particular protected because I should not write up. Okay. Yeah. Let remove that particular protected and let us check. Right. See, our intention is to implement this particular interface. Right. Our intention is to implement this particular interface. Okay. Where exactly that particular interface is there? It is there inside a class called a marriage. Correct? One question is, if I am extending, say for example, if I write class Y extends marriage, see, I'm just saying, if I am writing, say, let me write, if I am writing class Y extends marriage. Now what happens? Whatever methods are there which are public, even though if it is an interface also, all those things will be available for a class Y. Right? Now when you are implementing, see, when you are implementing, you have to write a keyword called implements. We have to write keyword called implements. Right? Yes, we have to write a keyword called implements. Now if I want to follow the process, if I want to go in a step-by-step manner, that means if I say class Y extends marriage, now interface will be available with respect to this particular Y. Later what I have to do? Implements, right? Implements what? Implements, if you say like implements shopping, right? Class Y extends marriage, implements shopping, right? Now what happens is, it will think that your JVM will think, if it encounters this particular statement, your JVM will think that this particular shopping might be an independent interface. It won't think like this is a part of this particular marriage class. Right? So what I mean to say is, there might be a one particular shopping interface which is outside. It means a normal interface. It might be thinking something like that, because according to syntax, we can extend one class and we can implement a number of interfaces. This we have told the last class, right? one particular class can extend one class and it can implement n number of interfaces. Right now, when you are sure that you are talking about interface which is a part of this particular marriage, then you have to write this particular interface implementation in this particular fashion itself. Clear? Now, when the situation of identifying this particular interface is through the reference of a marriage.shopping itself. That means if I want to go to this particular interface, I need to go with this particular class name only. Means why I have to extend this particular marriage? I will directly say that under a marriage class, you have a something called as a shopping. You implement that particular method. That means you implement that particular interface. Understood my explanation? What I'm saying is, when your intention is implementing this particular interface, directly you can specify marriage.shopping. No need to extend a class, then tell this particular interface need to be implemented. No need to specify like that. Right? Shall we run our program and cross check? Compiled, fine, executed. Right? So now there is no difference. Either you are writing interface marriage or class marriage. No difference, right? I didn't do any changes. Just I removed an interface to a class. So things are working fine now. So no differences than putting an interface inside a class and putting an interface inside another interface. There should be some advantage, right? Let me show you that particular advantage. Now, previously when this was an interface, if I wrote here a protected, it was showing the error saying that public and protected is a illegal combination. Right? Now I have included interface inside a class. Right? When it is inside a class, now I am writing a protected. Let us just cross check what will happen. Compiled, fine, done, fine, no error shown. Previously it has shown you error saying that illegal combination of modifiers. Right? So what is the conclusion is, we have not discussed access modifiers. I am well aware of that, but keep this particular point in the mind. If you are introducing interface within another interface, make sure that you write public only. Right? If you want to put a restrictions on an interface, I am talking about inner interface. If you want to put a restrictions on an inner interface, then include that particular interface under a class. Right? And this is not such a complicated point to be remembered. You just remember one thing. In an interface, we have already discussed, in an interface, everything will be a public, right? So if you are declaring a method, we said it will be a public and a abstract method, right? So in common, in an interface, whatever you put, so those things will be public, right? Whereas inside a class, that is not the case. If you are writing some class, inside of that particular class, everything will not be a public. You can apply different access modifiers for the members of the class, right? When I am including an interface inside a class, then what I am doing? I am making this particular interface as a member of a class, right? When it is a member of a class, other access modifiers can be applicable to that particular interface, right? When an inner interface is a member of another interface, right? So as the name itself says, basic property of interface says, in an interface, everything is a public. You cannot have any other access modifiers for the inner interface. Clear with the conclusion? Understood a nested interface. We have discussed what is a nested interface. We have discussed why we have to go with a nested interface. We have seen a syntax by putting interface within another interface, an example putting a interface within a class, and we have seen a restrictions. If it is the interface within an interface, you have to specify inner interface as a public. If it is an interface inside a class, any access modifiers can be applicable for the inner interface, right? So let us quickly go through the points which are there in a PPT. So by that time, so means after seeing points in a PPT, you have to get a few doubts. That means based on these examples, whatever we have seen, if you are not getting any doubts, then you have to solve one of my doubt. Right. So let us see if points. Right. An interface can be declared a member of a class or another interface. Yes. A nested interface can be declared as public, private, or protected if it is declared within a class. Right? A nested interface declared within an interface must be public. It cannot have any other access specifiers for that particular nested interface. Correct. When a nested interface is used outside of its enclosing scope, it must be qualified by the name of the class or interface of which it is a member. That means if you want to implement that particular interface, you have to use its interface name or a class name. Right? So example is there. Class A, you have a nested interface within a class. So it is having some method called a boolean is not negative. Okay. So class B is implementing that nested interface. So that particular nested interface will be identified by the class name. So it has been written as a.nestedif. Right? So now this particular class should give a definition for this particular not a negative method. So there is some definition given. So this is example of your nested interface, right? So go through all the points, be clear with the example. If you have any doubts, you can post those doubts in the chat box. If you don't have a doubts, then I have a small doubt. I'll show you, means I'll modify a bit, means few statements in an example. You have to answer that. And this particular modification is just for the sake of a better understanding of the concept, not to confuse. Sir, what about calling the method inside the interface, which is inside a class? Still we use public? No, it is not mandatory, but in the example they have taken it as a public. You can give any access specifiers for the inner interface, which is a part of a class. So can we implement an interface to the main class? Yes, main class can implement interfaces, no problem. Main class is also class. Sir, last point. Yeah, when a nested interface is used outside of its enclosing scope, right? Nested interface is your nested INF. Outside of its enclosing scope means this will be a scope of your nested interface, right? What it is saying is when you want to implement this particular nested IF, right? You have to use its class name dot interface name, right? It must be qualified by the name of the class or interface of which it is the member, right? Wherever you want to talk about this particular method called a not negative, then you have to talk with respect to a dot nested if. That means you have to talk with respect to It's a class name or an interface name, which that particular interface is enclosing within. Here in example, how I am identifying this particular method is not negative. I am identifying this particular method by writing a dot nested if. That is what it is saying. Sir, if you don't specify any access modifier for interface inside a class, by default it will be public. No, inside a class, if you are writing any interface, by default it will be having access specifier called as a default, not a public. Inside a interface, it will be a public. Inside a class, it will not be a public, it will be having a default access specifier. Nice questions. And please post questions to a public. Means for everyone you post so that they can also read the question. Okay, so no more questions from your side. Right, so let us go to our example. I said with respect to this example, I have a small doubt. Right, say for example, just for understanding, I'll take it as an interface. Okay, so I have an interface called a marriage. So then I have a interface called a shopping within this particular marriage, right? So now within an interface called a marriage, right, I can have a few methods, right? I can declare some abstract method here. So for example, I have declared one abstract method. I have declared one abstract method in a interface called a marriage. Again, I'm telling you, this is just for understanding a concept in a better way, not to confuse you. If you are feeling confused, you ask me to repeat the things once again. No problem in that. Right. So now what I'm saying is, I have an interface called as a marriage. So inside the interface called a marriage, I have a one abstract method which is called as a ydm1, and I have a one interface called as a shopping. Right. Now my class y implements marriage dot shopping. Right. My class y implements marriage dot shopping. Right. So which interface it is implementing? This is implementing this particular interface. Right. Now my question is, do I need to make this particular class y as an abstract? Because this particular class y is not giving an implementation for a m1. My question is, do I need to make this particular class y as abstract, as it is not implementing this particular m1, or will it be something like a independent interface? I said my question and I gave her two options. My first option is, do I need to make this particular class y as an abstract, as it is not giving a implementation for a m1? This is first option. Or no error will be thrown, it will not ask for anything need to be declared as abstract, it will execute it properly. What might be the answer? Okay, let me make it things as a simple. If I compile this particular program, will it show any error or not? Conclusions later. Just if it is throwing error, then we can come to some conclusions. If it is not throwing error, we can come to some other conclusions. No, it won't. Right? So let us just cross check. No compile time error. Okay, what about a runtime? No runtime error also. Wow. Yes. Now what does it mean? This means that for this particular class Y, it is considering this particular interface as a separate and this particular interface as a separate. Now, if I want to give an implementation for this particular M1, what has to be done? What has to be done is I have to include this particular interface name also by specifying comma. Right? Now, what does it mean? Class Y implements marriage interface, comma, marriage dot shopping interface. Right? Now, if I try to compile, now it will throw you error or error saying that your class Y will be abstract as it is not giving a C. Y is not abstract and it does not overridden that abstract method called a M1 in a marriage. Right? So now there comes a requirement saying that this particular method need to be implemented. Right? I'm not writing any description in M1, just wanted to show that it will not throw you any error. So this is how you will be implementing the methods separately when you have a different methods with respect to nested interfaces. Right? So what a conclusion I wanted to show you is, even though you are writing a nested interfaces, while implementing the methods of an outer interface need to be implemented separately and the methods of an inner interface need to be implemented separately. Right? So the methods of outer interface need to be implemented, means will be identified separately, and the methods of inner interface will be identified separately. Clear with the conclusion? Yes. Say for example, again I'm telling you just for make you understand the concept in a better fashion. Now, instead of an interface, if this was a class, right? When you don't know the definition of a one particular method, you need to make it as abstract, right? When you have a single method as abstract, then a class need to be made as abstract. Right? Now, if you want to implement, if you want to give a definition for this particular M1, what has to be done? What has to be done is you have to extends what is called as a marriage, and then you have to implement what is called as marriage.shopping. Right? So I have done everything in some extended interface, everything implemented, everything is done. So now it should not show me any error, rather it should compile fine. Right? So I hope you are clear with when to go with the extend, when to go with the implements, how to identify inner interface, how to identify the methods of outer interface. No confusions, it should be a great combination. Any questions? Clear with the concept? Right. So once I share your recording, you try these examples, check properly, be clear with when to go with extents, when to go with interface. Based on whichever method you want to implement, you have to use those particular terminologies suitably. Right? Okay. With respect to the syllabus, we have to discuss one more small topic. I'll not take much of a time for explaining that particular topic. So I'll just give you overview. You can see example from the PPT. The topic which we need to discuss is encapsulation. In this one, we have not yet started with the access modifiers. So this will not be that much, not a complete explanation. Just I'll tell you what exactly is an encapsulation. Right. In a class, in a sum class called a X, if at all, if you are declaring any variables as a private, Yeah, that only I'm telling, access specifiers I have to take, but now don't so means much concentration will not be on access modifier, access modifiers, a concept on an encapsulation, right? I'll just give you a brief introduction what exactly is a private, right? If I am writing private int a is equal to some 10, some value, say for example I have declared some a. Now once you declare something as a private, right, to put some value to this particular private variable, you need to have methods which are part of this particular class. What I mean to say is, now if I want to give a value for this particular a, I have to write a method, right, something like set a. Using this particular method only, I have to specify a value for this particular private variable, right? So this you just remember. What I mean to say is, now I can specify this dot a is equal to x. Okay, so what is the concept means? Encapsulation in the sense, protecting your instance variable or protecting something. From whom you are protecting? I am protecting from others not to reach that particular element directly, right? Say I'll give you just a small example. Say for example, you came to a college and you left your mobile phone in your bedroom, right? Now you will tell your friend who will be coming on the way from your home, you will be calling him and you will be telling, Maja, it's forgot a mobile phone in a home itself. Can you better bring that mobile phone for me? So this is a request which you will be giving for your friend. Now what your friend has to do, he has to go to your home and call someone, right? He has to speak with your mom or a brother or a father. He has to convey that particular message saying that, so he has kept a mobile phone here, so can you please give that particular mobile phone so that I'll hand over this phone to that particular person, right? This is the standard procedure. In other fashion, the same story I'll tell you. Once he got a call saying that his mobile phone is there in a bedroom, he cannot directly enter into a bedroom and take that mobile phone and go off without talking to anybody. He cannot do like that, right? Now, what I'm saying is, private is nothing but the space, access specifier. It is something like a bedroom, private. When you are allowing some person into a private area, means that particular person should belong to that particular class. Other people cannot enter into that particular class. That means that particular area, right? So what is the encapsulation says is, encapsulation is nothing but giving a protection. For whom you are giving a protection? For a variable a, I am giving a protection, right? So encapsulation, so means in the PPT there is a one small example and a small description about this particular encapsulation topic. This is not a that much important topic to be discussed at this particular point after discussing the nested interfaces and interfaces, but it has been introduced, so I'm explaining you this particular point, right? So keep in mind, encapsulation is nothing but a protecting, right? Example for that, if anything is a private inside a some class, right, you should have a methods which are a part of that class to access those particular variables, right? So what I mean to say is, if anything is a private in a class, any instance variables are a private in a class, you can give a values to this particular instance variables only by using the methods of that particular class, not by any other way, right? So for a time being, you keep this particular information in mind. Once we start with access modifiers explanation, you will be clearly understanding what is the difference between public, private, protected, and all the access specifiers which we have. Clear with the things, right? So that's it about interfaces. You can leave the session. Thanks for making the session interactive. Have a nice day.